Hello and welcome to India.com. I am Sumit Saha, and today we're going to talk about franchisee cricket. The franchisee cricket fever is taking over the world, and in India, we have several states hosting their own leagues. There is also a league called the Maharashtra Premier League, and today we're going to talk with the owner of the defending champions of Maharashtra Premier League 2023 edition, Mr. Rajan Navani. Rajan Navani is the owner of the JetSynthesys, which made its formal entry into the sports through this franchise. Welcome, sir. Welcome to India.com.
Thank you, Sumit. Welcome to me. Great to be here.
Okay, sir. Sir, my first question would be, as an owner of Ratnagiri Jets, who were the defending champions of MPL, what are the challenges you faced in the first season?
So, you just started this conversation, by saying we were the defending champions. So we probably did most of the right things. But whenever you win something, I think the biggest challenge is to retain that victory and actually ensure that the team only does better. So going forward, obviously, in our next season, which is now coming up, we are really put a lot of effort to make that happen. But coming to your question of the challenges faced in the first season, I think the time that we had, right from the time that we, were able to acquire the team and bid for the players, till when the championship started was very small or very short. And I think within that time, really to build a back end a kind of ecosystem. There were players who came in for the first time together, building the team spirit, because ultimately, it is the team that wins, irrespective of how individuals perform. And we felt that the time for doing that was short. Of course, we put our best foot forward and we did achieve a significant victory. But over the last year, we have invested heavily in building that particular aspect, of Ratnagiri Jets. And what you see now is a very, very strong one team, Ratnagiri Jets, and the spirit with which, every ball will be faced or every ball will be bowled, will be one of a very different nature to probably what we saw in the first season. So, but otherwise, it's been a good run, and we're deeply excited about what's coming up in the future.
Sir, what were the factors that you looked into, like in that team building process with the management and support staff and coach? What were the factors you looked while choosing the players or like getting the management right?
So, I think there are multiple factors. Of course, the talent of the player is absolutely key. Then getting the right talent mix. Because ultimately you need a team that will perform and win. And I think the most important part is building accountability, responsibility within the entire team for any outcome. And I think that is so important. And that is truly driven by a spirit that is positive. So, we've invested heavily in making people understand nuances beyond the talent that they have of what it takes to win. Even our head coach must have spoken to you, and we've really invested in a very strong layer. A lot of global best practices to be able to win at the highest level have been incorporated in the team dynamics. We've also looked at inspiration coming from multiple sources, to the team, the facilities that are needed to train, and particularly over the last year, we have deeply invested in creating a pipeline for cricketers. So we have the Jets Club and now the academy. So we're going deeper and deeper into Maharashtra to really be able to channel new energy, new force. So it's an ecosystem that we are building for cricketing success and glory rather than just a one team kind of an experience. And we will see how that can actually translate to producing some of the best cricketers that will represent not only India in the future, but probably also perform at the best levels in the world. And that's our aspiration of building Ratnagiri Jets and the entire, you mentioned the cricket sporting ecosystem, at JetSynthesys.
Sir, one thing like in this IPL this season, we have seen debates rising up that being an owner, it's a business point, and being in that dressing room is different. Like, should the owners intervene in that dressing room culture, be there, like the way we have seen, like Sanjeev Goenka and Paz Jindal, their involvement, they have been like slammed as well as they have been criticized. Better word would be criticized. So, what's your take on that, and how much, like, as an owner, you should delve into that like playing conditions and like sporting things?
So, the way we look at it, there is no owner and there is no team and player. Every player is an owner, right? I mean, we feel the spirit with which we have built Ratnagiri Jets is a sense of ownership, which lies more with the team, than anybody else, right? And I think that is the most important. What is ownership, right? What are you owning? You're owning the outcome of a match. You're owning the outcome of a tournament. You're owning the outcome of your performance, right? As a team owner, I'm only as good as the performance of my team, right? Or the coach or the management, etc. So if every player feels like an owner, and also the reward structures that we have built. I mean, if you see the way we are building the cricketing ecosystem in India, we are rewarding, respecting talent, as the foremost, strength that we have. And the spirit with which we are building, the entire grassroots play in Maharashtra is built exactly in that. So we are investing, both money, etc., to be able to build that sense of ownership in people. And when you talk of an owner, then if everybody feels like an owner, there's no gap between an owner and a team, right? I mean, the best way to break that, and obviously everyone plays a role, and in the cricketing, once they're on the field, it's the cricketers and the coaches who take all the calls because they are the ones who are who are the best suited to do that, right? So I think creating the framework for decision making that is right, and giving a sense of ownership to everybody in the outcome of what we are trying to do is the formula we have adopted, and that is probably what enabled us to even overcome that challenge and turn out to be a winner in the first season. The challenge of tying the damage, right? Because everybody played as an owner. Today we think if you play both as a team and an owner, I think the outcome should hopefully be only stronger than what we achieved last time. So that's our philosophy on how we are looking at building going forward.
Okay. Sir, you have like, what's your take exactly on like the way Paz Jindal reacted, the way Sanjeev Goenka reacted on the field? He was seen like literally getting angry on KL Rahul. Sir, you all have been champions. There, you like the graph has been going up, but sometimes the graph will go down. It's a part of the sport. It's a part and parcel of the game. The graph will go down. How should like the owners react, or was what they did was right, or there must be some things in place that must be looked at?
So, one, it's very hard to, comment on anybody's reaction because there's so much back history, etc., that, must be there. There are reasons why different people behave differently. But what I can say is that at least, our attempt, and I'm sure every owner feels similarly, the attempt is to be able to go and pat every player on the back and say, you did a great job. As I said, because at the end of the day, one can only be the best version of oneself, right? So it's very simple the way we think about it, right? And I can share what how we think. You pick talent, which is what you feel is the best, yeah, that you can or is available. Then you create a environment and the support and the infrastructure and the mentorship, whatever is needed to be able to enable that talent to perform to the best version of themselves. And then collectively ensure that the best performance of all the best is put out there, right? And I think if you do if all these three things fall into place, it's never one person who did not perform or two people did not perform or this, the word we replaces the word I, right? And I said it's not only within the players, it is including the owners. If we all say we are one or we are the same, then it is like it's a family and a household, right? Sometimes your parent will get upset at you because it might be perceived differently, but they're doing it because you should feel, they feel for you, right? Because there's an emotion you feel even a negative, So I think that spirit, and it's very hard for someone to comment about somebody else's home, right? It's the same way. So I think the question you're asking, I can tell you how we are building it and how I think most teams and owners should build it. And I think many of the teams and owners are building it in that way. So this is my
Exactly.
kind of thought around
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, looking into the season, it will be starting from the first week of June. What are the things that you expect from your side this time? And like, obviously, you have been on the like pinnacle of success the last season, but this time around, I think other teams are as strong as they could be. They are preparing for the season. What things like your team is doing, and what are the things you would be looking to work on?
No, so absolutely. I think, as I mentioned right in the beginning, right, the bigger challenge is to stay a winner, because then, the odds are against you from many angles. And, we understand and appreciate that, but we stick to our core principles, of hard work, discipline, trying to do the best, at every opportunity that, throws itself up. Be in the moment, try and see how you can be 1% better today compared to yesterday. Learn from your mistakes and just make sure you don't repeat those mistakes. I think that is an evolving journey, right? So I think across, from whether it is capabilities, whether it is in talent, whether it is in team, whether it is in underestimating the opposing team, never underestimate, because you have to put your best performance out there every single time you go on the field, right? And I think if people are able to, or that's our only message to our team, is like, how do we all, do our best every single time, be in the moment and allow that to happen, right? Today, sometimes some things don't happen, accept that and then learn from that mistake and then, do better. I think that's the core philosophy with which we are approaching the second season. We are trying to be as, I always tell all our players, let's be as humble as we can, because only then will we be able to see something that is, which we can learn from. If we think we know everything or we are the best, it doesn't work like that. And I think that's the journey of life at every stage. It's a very simple thing, to kind of incorporate, and we try as a team, and that's what we want to also use as representing our brand value, our ethos, our culture, our approach, to winning, losing, just do the best version of yourself, and then the results will come. And if they don't come, learn from what went wrong and, try and get better. So I think that spirit, and if we can keep that spirit through the whole, season, I think, we'll be very proud, irrespective of what the outcome, of the tournament is. But of course, there's no joy like like winning, and also empowering others to do. But it's a sport, and sport is the greatest part about sport is that nobody is a loser. Right? I mean, and you hear that it sounds very cliched sometimes. Everybody is a winner, because everybody has learned something, even in the loss or or even in a victory. And I think that's important, to follow.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you for the interview. All the best for your upcoming championship, and hope this year also you all be in the pinnacle of success. Thank you, sir.
So, thank you for having us.